Honorable guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, at the Auditorium at True Digital Park and online, Swadika. Good afternoon. I'm Chinawut or Pongpaibool, and I am delighted to be your MC for today here at True Digital Park. On behalf of VNU Exhibitions Asia Pacific Company Limited and EJK and Associates Inc., it is with great pleasure to welcome you all to the Beyond Mobile Press Conference. สวัสดีค่ะท่านผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านทั้งที่รับชมณ Hall Auditorium ที่ True Digital Park ที่นี่นะคะและทุกท่านที่รับชมถ่ายทอดสดออนไลน์ค่ะดิฉันชาวรัตน์ยงจิรนนท์รับหน้าที่เป็นพิธีกรในวันนี้ในนามของผู้จัดงานบริษัท VNU Exhibitions Asia Pacific จำกัดและบริษัท EJK ขอกล่าวต้อนรับทุกท่านเข้าสู่งานแถลงข่าวการจัดงาน Beyond Mobile ค่ะ 5G is set to be more than just faster internet. It is set to play a critical role in supporting connectivity to bring about new products and services that are set to emerge from major industries such as agriculture, health, manufacturing, mobility, and smart cities. Future trends of digital transformation show that in the next 5 years alone, more than 40% of digital development will be in the Asia-Pacific region, with Southeast Asia driving the growth. Therefore, Beyond Mobile will be the stage to drive the super-connected economies within Asia and answer the needs of the region that is full of competitive 5G players. As businesses are gaining a competitive edge by preparing 5G integration, next-generation mobile network adoption is changing the landscape and impacting application development for the Internet of Things, or IoT, as well as industrial Internet penetration in unprecedented ways. And so definitely, this has been a wonderful time for us to inform you of what is to come for next year. As we are going to be having the Beyond Mobile event scheduled to take place next year during the month of March from the 16th to the 17th of 2022. And definitely, we are here to give you the latest details of that. จากผลสำรวจเรื่อง Digital Transformation แสดงให้เห็นว่าในอีก 5 ปีข้างหน้านะคะมีจำนวนของการเชื่อมต่อของเครือข่ายมือถือและการปรับใช้เทคโนโลยีดิจิทัลยุคใหม่กว่า 40% ที่จะมาจากภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกและก็เอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้จะเป็นตัวที่จะขับเคลื่อนการเติบโตของภูมิภาคนี้ค่ะซึ่งผู้จัดงาน Beyond Mobile ได้เล็งเห็นแล้วนะคะว่างานของเราจะเป็นเวทีศูนย์กลางแห่งการขับเคลื่อนทางเศรษฐกิจที่สำคัญและตอบโจทย์สำหรับทวีปเอเชียแปซิฟิกนะคะในการพัฒนา 5G ในอุตสาหกรรมหลากหลายที่สำคัญในบ้านเราไม่ว่าจะเป็นในเรื่องของการตอบโจทย์ของหรือความต้องการของผู้บริโภคหรือการพัฒนาเทคโนโลยีในอุตสาหกรรมอย่างเช่น agriculture, manufacturing, automobile, and smart cities ทั้งหมดนี้นะคะเราก็จะจัดงานของเราในวันที่ 16 ถึง 17 มีนาคม 2565 ณ 3 ย่านมิตรทาวน์กรุงเทพค่ะ Today, we are honored indeed to have the presence of Dr. Chinawut Chinaprayoon, Executive Vice President of Digital Economy Promotion Agency, or DEPA. Dr. Panita Pongpaibool, Deputy Executive Director of the National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, or NECTEC. Mr.Chiruit Isarangkun Ayuthaya, President of Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or TCEB. And of course, our representative from our launch partner, Mr. Tawatchai, Lerksumrand, Associate Director of Mobile Business and 5G Service Innovation of True Corporation. In today's panel discussion of 5G's impact on various industries, we are honored indeed to have speakers who are prominent in their industries to give their in-depth experience and perspectives. They are Dr. Grit Wiryayuthakon, President of Artificial Intelligence Entrepreneurs Association of Thailand, or AIEAT, Ms. Lina Ung, Chief Investment Officer of Amata Corporation, Mr. Warakan Likit Deshasak, Chief Technology Officer of Huawei Technologies, and Mr. Anusak Promchat, Sales Manager of the Test and Management from Road and Schwartz, as well as online, Ms. Charani Kalyanamit, who is the CEO of 5GCT and moderating this special session of panel discussion here, along with Kun Tawatchai, Lerksumrand, is Mr. Heiko M. Stutzinger, the Managing Director of VNU Asia Pacific. Today, we hope to give you insight on how the government sector is supporting the development of 5G in Thailand, True's important partnership in launching Beyond Mobile, and the benefits of the event for various businesses. Our panel discussion will be on the value of 5G and how it is more than just faster internet, but a vital enabler of new products and services set to emerge in various industries such as agriculture, healthcare, manufacturing, mobility, and smart cities. We hope that this will be useful information for you. นอกเหนือจากงานแถลงข่าวถึงการจัดงาน Beyond Mobile แล้วนะคะ อย่างที่ได้แจ้งเมื่อสักครู่นะคะ เราจะมีเสวนาพิเศษในช่วงท้ายด้วยค่ะ ซึ่ง panelist ของเรานะคะจะมาแบ่งปันข้อมูลเชิงลึกในหัวข้อความสำคัญของ 5G ที่เป็นมากกว่าความเร็วอินเทอร์เน็ต 5G จะกลายเป็นกำลังสำคัญในการอำนวยความสะดวกให้กับผลิตภัณฑ์และบริการต่างๆในอุตสาหกรรมอาทิ agriculture การดูแลสุขภาพการผลิตยานยนต์อนาคตและ Smart City อย่างไรค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นเมื่อให้เสียเวลานะคะเราขอเชิญชวนให้ทุกท่านรับชมวิดีโอ presentation พิเศษของ Beyond Mobile ค่ะ And without further ado, join us in our journey with giving you what Beyond Mobile is about in our video presentation. Definitely an exciting moment as we are seeing the power of 5G come to Thailand. And so without further ado, it is with great honor to welcome our first speaker of the day, who will be talking about how the Thai government is helping the development of 5G in the Kingdom of Thailand. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Chinawut Chinaprayoon, Executive Vice President of Digital Economy Promotion Agency, or DEPA, in his opening speech.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Digital Economy Promotion Agency, or DEPA, and our CEO and President, Dr. Nattapon Nimpacharin, I would like firstly to congratulate everyone on this organizing of the important events Beyond Mobile. 5G applications will be very important for the world in the years to come, and the 5G infrastructure is deemed a very crucial infrastructure for the development of digital economy and society in the future. For the Thai government, it is very important that we have to secure our investment in 5G to be able to appropriate the development of new technology and innovations. For the role of DEPA, we see 5G as a very important digital infrastructure to help us to accelerate into the digital world. Everyone knows that COVID-19 pandemic have the effect on everyone's life, and business and government alike has to adjust to be able to be ready for the post-pandemic development. And 5G will be a crucial tool for us to be able to produce a new economy afterwards. So for DEPAs, our role is to encourage the development of 5G applications across spectrums. What the Thai government has been done is that we are the very first country in ASEAN to be able to provide the 5G infrastructure throughout the country. And our mobile operators, as well as network providers, are very keen to help the Thai economy to go forward with the 5G applications. The government has initiated several projects, including development of 5G test beds in the EEC area and also at the depa building, to be able to provide new entrepreneurs to be able to start their business using the 5G technology. So what we have been doing as well is we have encouraged a number of startups and the new technology talents to be able to use this kind of 5G technologies and infrastructures to be able to produce new innovations to appropriate the values and provide several applications, also including during this time of pandemic. You can see that this pandemic has caused us a lot of the changes and also have a negative and also positive impacts on many aspects. For example, Thailand has adopted widely telemedicine technology after the COVID-19 pandemic has started. This is also the important area that 5G network will be deemed crucial to help us with the access to healthcare services across the country, regardless whether they are in suburban area, in remote areas, or in urban areas that has to taking care of the social distancing policy. So I think for the government standpoint, we see 5G as a new hope that we can develop and use the mobile network to another level. Thailand has been one of the forefront in terms of development of digital economy. We are one of the countries that has the highest penetration of internet usage across the country, also the mobile usage as well. We also the country that has been widely adopt e-commerce, for example. So with the coming of 5G applications and the 5G developments, I believe that Thailand's digital economy will be going forward to another level. And this is a new hope that we will build a new S-curve, including smart agriculture, smart healthcare, smart education, and also smart cities across Thailand to be able to deal with the disruptions that has been going very fast worldwide. So this is going to be a very important event. The Beyond Mobile event will be one of, I think, the first formal and informal talks between providers, developers, and those who are interested in 5G's development in Thailand and beyond. I think together, Thailand and ASEAN and also in Asia region, we will thrive at using the 5G applications to be able to provide an inclusive growth to the society, as well as to provide new hopes of development to the new young talents and entrepreneurs to be shared. Thank you very much, and hope everyone will have a great success on these coming events. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chinawut, for those insightful words about how crucial the Thai government is playing a role in developing 5G. Next, we would like to welcome Dr. Panita Pongpaibool, the Deputy Executive Director of the National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, or NECTEC, to give a supporting speech on the digital economy and society transformation here in the Kingdom.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good afternoon. all distinguished speakers and participants of Beyond Mobile Press Conference. It is my great pleasure and honor to be the representative of NECTEC NASDA to contribute and support this event for 5G development in Thailand. 5G is not only important because it has the potential to support millions of devices at ultra-fast speed, but also because it has the prospect to transform the lives of the people and how we do business around the world. From manufacturing aspect, 5G is an essential connectivity element for building smart factories and can truly take advantage of modern technologies such as automation, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, data analytics, and the Internet of Things. As a part of government sector, we are trying to support and promote the development of electronics and computer technologies through research and development activities. We also provide linkages between research communities and industries together with the using of incentives and relevant policies, which would help to accelerate the process of digital transformation and 5G in Thailand. At NECTEC NASDA, we contribute the local technologies developed by Thai researchers on digital transformation to support manufacturing sector. Recently, the government approved the establishment of the Sustainable Manufacturing Center, or SMC, in Wangjan Valley, Rayong. This center will be one of the flagships of the Eastern Economic Corridor of Innovation, or EECI, focusing on and supporting local manufacturing sector in its journey to Industry 4.0 through the application of modern automation, robotics, and intelligent systems. NECTEC NASDA plan to equip SMC with all necessary service components, specially designed to match with Thai manufacturers in various sectors and sizes. These services range from Industry 4.0 readiness assessment, business and technical consultation, advanced manufacturing training, aiming at reskilling and upskilling human resources, technology demonstration, and Industry 4.0 test beds for research and development. Currently, we are working with factories in Thailand to conduct pilot projects of 5G smart factories with the support of both National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission's Fund and major 5G operators. In these 5G use cases, Thai factories will gain experience with new 5G technologies, and we will also help them investigating the return on investment of some 5G use cases. Additionally, we are currently in the process of setting up 5G network testbed overlaid on top of our Industry 4.0 facilities in EECI Wangjan Valley. Therefore, this center will be truly established to help the development of 5G in Thailand. At NECTEC NASDA, we recognize the importance of 5G technology and believe that 5G technology is a major driving force to the digital economy and society transformation. On behalf of NECTEC NASDA, we strongly support Beyond Mobile with the hope that all its activities will lead to successful collaborations among private, government, and international organizations. I would like to thank Beyond Mobile for inviting us to be a supporting partner in this event, and I hope all speakers and participants will join hands to achieve the success of 5G development and industrial transformation in Thailand. I wish you a very successful event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Panita, for that insightful speech, which also tells us about what NECTEC is doing and also your crucial involvement in Beyond Mobile. And now please join me in welcoming Mr. Chiruit Isarangkun na Ayuthaya, President of Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or TCEB, who will also give us a speech on technology's impact of life, as well as the government support for our events.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or TCEB, I am honored to join all of you at this exclusive event today. As you all know, under this circumstance, the MICE industry has been facing today, nothing is more motivating than business continuity. The launch of BYOND Mobile is one prime example of such motivation. In this connection, let me congratulate the organizing team of VNU Asia Pacific and EJ Crown Associates. Ladies and gentlemen, digital technology has proven its impact on business and everyday life during the COVID-19 situation. The digital sector breeds a fertile ground for Thailand to stand at the forefront of 5G technology in the ASEAN region. As government agency, TCEB has set sight on national strategic industries as a target of our support through trade fairs and conferences. Of course, digital sectors is no exception, with Asia Pacific being forecast to account of 40% of the world's connectivity within next 5 years. We are definitely sure that your event will stand a promising opportunity for business achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, TCEB will take growth driver role for such achievement alongside with you all. Now it's time that we learn lessons for growth together from all experts today. So I wish you all a fruitful event and productive business opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chiruit. And now I'm sure many of you are excited to learn more about the potential benefits of BYOND Mobile. And to tell you all about it, it is with great pleasure to invite Mr. Tawatchai Lerksumrand, Associate Director of Mobile Business and 5G Service Innovation of True Corporation, to join us here on the stage to give us True's vision on how 5G will impact Thailand.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, my name is Tawatchai from the True Corporation. I believe that everyone will have the understanding that the 5G is more than the communication method. The 5G take a key role or the key force to drive the society and economy of the Thailand. So that's why the 5G is the key strategy in the Thailand 4.0, and we can say that it is a part, very important part in the digital Thailand framework and milestone. About the True Corporation, we also have we are the leader of the digital telecommunication and infrastructure. Now we deploy the 5G network in the 77 provinces, or we can say that now our network is the biggest network coverage 5G in the Thailand. Also, we also focus about the ecosystem. What we are doing is that we work with many partners in the leading of the local and international partner to build the solution and to create the use case, the real use case, in order to lead the all industry and the Thailand to be success in the 5G era. Supporting to the BYOND Mobile, I hope and I believe that the BYOND Mobile exhibition will lead the leading organization and stakeholder together. We can bring the growth of the 5G for the all industry and Thailand, and it will have the competitiveness for our country to be the leader in the global level. Thank you for invite to corporation to join this event, and I hope this will be success. And I thank you to be the launch partner for this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kun Tawatchai ka. That was very indeed an insightful talk there, as we are seeing, of course, one of the leading companies giving their important perception of what's been going on here in Thailand and the development we are going to be seeing in the future. Now, as mentioned earlier, we are going to have a very insightful panel discussion on the value of 5G and how it is being a major force in facilitating new products and services that are set to emerge from various industries, whether it is agriculture, healthcare, manufacturing, mobility, or smart cities. So please join me in welcoming him back again on stage, Mr. Tawatchai Lerksumrand, Associate Director of Mobile Business and 5G Service Innovation of True Corporation, Dr. Gopgrit Viriya Yuthakon, President of Artificial Intelligence Entrepreneurs Association of Thailand, or AIEAT, Ms. Lina Ung, the Chief Investment Officer of Amata Corporation, Mr. Waragan Likit Deshasak, Chief Technology Officer of Huawei Technologies, Mr. Anusak Promchad, Sales Manager of Tests and Management from Road & Schwartz, and Ms. Charani Galayanamit, CEO of 5GCT, who is joining us online. And of course, we have Mr. Heiko M. Stutzinger, the Managing Director of VNU Asia Pacific Company, who will be the moderator for this special session.
Hello and welcome. Please have a seat. Thank you all for making it today. I'm so happy that we can have this panel here in a kind of hybrid format. I also welcome all the visitors, all the spectators, the press who is watching this in the live stream right now, which also means that there's the possibility to answer or to ask questions at any time for our audience. And then later in the Q&A session, I will try to bundle it a little, and then the panelists can answer and drive forward the knowledge exchange. So again, setting the stage for today's panel, talking about 5G. If we look at Thailand, the country which we are right now, so what we witness is Thailand is really vigorously chasing its ambition for transforming the country to be a digital hub in Southeast Asia. What we also witnessed is that Thailand became actually the first nation in Southeast Asia with a commercial 5G rollout back in the early 2020. And Thai government is really pushing the envelope. Developing a 5G-ready business environment is also part of the Thailand 4.0 National Digital Transformation Play. Again, all positioning itself as the digital hub in Southeast Asia. And we know that some of the technology-driven fields where 5G can make a substantial contribution is monitoring, tracking, maintenance, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, connected cars, autonomous robotic, all leveraging IoT. So these are just some of the technology, the tech drivers. And some of the most amazing companies in that field, also drivers, some of personalities behind or in that organizations we can welcome here today on the panel as well as in the Zoom. So we have again a hybrid format panel. So welcome again to the tech drivers, the innovators, company representatives that I have here on stage today. So after my little introduction, time is running, clock is ticking. Let us start with the questions. And as we have Kun Shannon joining us in the Zoom format, we thought that it might be a good idea to start off with you. So Kun Shannon, CEO, co-founder serial entrepreneur of 5G CT, my first question goes to you. I hope you can hear me well.
Yep, so far. Thank you.
So far, so good. That is looking good. So, Kun Shannon, enabling a 5G-powered ecosystem in verticals like agriculture, health, manufacturing is a complex task. So, what is 5GT's approach in delivering end-to-end solutions with all the stakeholders you are working with? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Thank you for that. And also to the esteemed panelists as well. I'm very honored to be sitting nearby everyone here virtually. So 5G CT or 5G Catalyst Technologies or 5G CT, what we actually do is we call ourselves a high-touch SI. So we understand that the telcos, in this specific case, we had started working with NT, which is the National Telecom. After they bought the concession won the concession for 5G, we were working with them at length to workshop the business model and revenue onto how to monetize this type of high-speed 5G, which is the 26 gigs that we all know. So that's what we did on one angle, which is we worked with the telecoms. What we also ended up doing as well is going to the people who actually need the solution. So for example, I'm just going to use smart city in this example. You also mentioned industrial and healthcare. We also do that as well. But for illustration wise, what we did was we went to Banchang, Rayong, and we mapped out their pain points. The main pain point that they had was environmental and security, and all their data was not in one place. So our job as 5GCT is we map out the pain points of this specific use case, which is this smart city, and then we map it with our solutions as well as work with many other vendors. In this case, we worked with Cisco and we worked with a few other city app vendors as well, and then our own platform. We coupled that with NT and the 5G core provider, and again, at that time, it was Mavenir. And what I'd like to, because I know a lot of the stakeholders are here as well on this same panel, we're very happy and honored to work with anybody here as well through the AI Association with a ton of solutions, as well as Huawei and TCEB and everyone here. So we're happy to work with everyone. But our main mandate is we are an end-to-end solution where we map out the pain points of the use case. In this case, it was smart city, industrial, and or healthcare, and then we map out the solution for them.
That sounds like a pretty cool approach. So mapping the pain points, identifying the obstacles, orchestrating the different partners you have in the value chain, and of course, different technology providers together. So, and I hear there's one project specifically that kind of got an awareness overnight, so to say. It's the Silicon Beach called. So can you tell us more about that smart city project, and as a part one, and then part two of the question, something about the future, about your future plans.
Sure, thank you. So yeah, Silicon Beach is actually the Banchang project. As mentioned, the use case problem we were trying to solve is that, okay, there's all this industrialization happening with the factories and the petrochemical companies that are in that area, the EEC zone in Rayong, and also with the PAO, the airport. So what happens from that is that the citizens are affected by pollution or natural or disasters that can happen. So what we had mapped out with the mayor, the TCEB, that, okay, what problems are solved, and then how can we best which is the city officials, police, and sanitation departments, but also intrinsically the citizens have better access to data at their fingertips. So in this solution, the reason why it was an overnight idea, because when we worked very closely with the mayor, we finally had the polls that some people don't understand what the poles are for, but the poles are to gather IoT data, which is the pollution sensors, the temperature sensors, et cetera. And then we map it, and then as well as the camera, which also maps out traffic, as well as facial recognition. Now, all of this data, we mapped it so all of this IoT data, we mapped their existing data, which is the local data. And for the first time, it's all in one place. And so the reason why city officials loved it is because then we have a command center right in the middle of the mayor's office. And then he's able to, and then we also have another command center, the police station, and another one in the station department. When somebody comes in and there's like a crash detected on the camera, it's automatically notifying the police station as well as the ambulance if needed. So actually the reason why the officials liked it. In fact, there was actually a suicide that happened in Rayong. We helped solve this case for them a week shortly after we launched it. And so the other thing that they like is the citizens actually have all of this information at their fingertips as well. So they're able to call in case of an emergency to the command center and those that can help them. So yeah, that's why it was very impactful. And again, there's a whole country ahead of us that need these solutions. And I know that the peers here at the stage are also doing very similar things. So happy to work with everybody. And so that's where I see the future. Building sustainable cities, being a Thai citizen myself, it's our duty to actually help shape it in the most sustainable and efficient way. And so with that, we have to work with all the partners and not double. And I hope that the future for Thailand will be that we cooperate together in building these solutions.
Quite thanks, Kun Shannon. Quite the fascinating mission you are on, orchestrating multiple players. A little bit like a conductor when you have different music instruments, and together you can play the symphony, and also create better life, have direct impact on people's life. So pretty fascinating. So thank you for the intro and for the first warm up in that round. So coming now to my live panel here on stage. So we have Kun Waragan, CTO of Huawei. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you, likewise.
So my first question to the panel goes to you. So Huawei Thailand has been a key partner, a key tech partner and driver in the Kingdom of Thailand. So can you explain a little bit the role you are playing and Huawei in the Thailand 5G ecosystem, also the innovation center you have been building located at the DEPA's headquarters?
Thank you, Heiko. So first of all, thank you very much, Beyond Mobile, for having Huawei and me together with the event. So actually, Huawei Thailand, we have been here for 22 years. We've been here building since 2G, and poof, it became 5G.
22 years, poof.
Right. So as you may know, the 5G, the special characters of a 5G is that the capability to integrate to different industry. It's no longer just only the consumer application or consumer services. So that's the interesting things. And as you may aware as well, that is a very, very good thing that Thailand is, we could say, one of the leader in terms of the 5G infrastructure readiness. We have lots of construction rollouts of 5G infrastructure since last year. And the things is this, that we know that how we are going to build the next values in different industry on top of these infrastructures. And we see the scenario where lots of solutions or lots of applications that we have in the other country just can't really plug in to our local scenarios. And in order to have a very sustainable technology adoptions and a long-term innovations, we really do need to have the local innovations. And that's one of the key driving forces that we are working with depa to establish 5G EIC, we call Ecosystem Innovation Centers. We have set up this center since September last year. And we hope this will be the place where the different peoples, different ecosystem partner meet, including the mobile operators, the solution providers like Huawei or others, the SI, especially local SI, either from the industry side, from the consumer side, and as well as most important as well, the academic sectors like universities, which is we consider one of the important R&D sector of Thailand. So we try to build a more local innovation, I would say. And that's something that really more specific to scenario in Thailand. So the center we have here now, we have, I think more than 70 partners at the moment. Lots of innovations coming out made by Thai people or Thai SMB or startup. And we also have this center open for the person who interested could have visit. And occasionally, actually regularly, we also arrange the online training by our 5G EIC and our alliance partner to sharing some of the technology knowledge. So this is how we are using this center to be one of the tools to promote and drive the adoption of 5G to the industry.
Quite cool, and also a little bit of a hub. Yeah?
Correct.
Generate a hub.
A bit more specific on the Thai people, but I think that's will be very good for the long term.
Yeah. This hub strategy reminds me also a little bit what True is doing here, exactly at the location we are right now. So we see, of course, today we are super happy to have you here, Kun Eek, and True as official launch partner for Beyond Mobile, which is amazing that you join us. So we are here at True Digital Park. It's also the concept a little bit of a 5G innovation hub, 5G tech sandbox facility for the different system integrator startups that all work in the 5G ecosystem. So can you share a little bit of the concept of this True Digital Park? And also you have this World Tech X showcase. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question. I would like to share something like this. I think that after we understand clearly about the concept of the 5G, we know that we cannot do it success by ourselves. But it's not only the telecommunication, it's beyond that. And the concept of the 5G that we need that to be the all connected. This is the concept. Connect the people, connect the machine, connect the everything. So the idea to make it success is that we need to integrate, right? So the infrastructure and the ecosystem is very important to do this one. This is the concept. That's why we initiate the project that named the 5G Vertical Hub. This is the idea. So when we have the 5G Vertical Hub, you can bring the leading of the organization, the partner in the local and the international together to build the 5G ecosystem together. Because that to make it tangible, so we create the new project and the new exhibition. We call this one the 5G Vertex X. It is in this building, in the True Digital Park. In our exhibition, because that we try to assess for the strategic industry, so we divide it into the 7 zones, like the industry, like the education, the retail, the manufacturer, the manufacturer, and also we have the zone to develop the many things in this one. So in the 7 industry that we try to focus, we have the strategic use case as well. So it will be our showcase and the tech partner, and we invite the business partner to go to the exhibition to develop the POC and to develop it into the commercial phase. So this is the concept of this one, and I welcome if we can open after the COVID is gone, so everyone can go to the True Digital Park and welcome to our exhibition to see what we do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. We have been visiting you some months ago, before actually the next lockdown happened.
It's good?
It's very nice. Yeah, very
you.
impressive. Very impressive. I'm technically, I'm not a tech guy. I'm more like actually, our business model is also connectivity, yeah, trade shows and the platform Beyond Mobile is what are we doing? We bring people together.
Sorry.
So, sure,
I
please.
already remind, it have the agriculture and also it have the welfare.
Agriculture,
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Sorry that I...
Also, a little bit our verticals from Beyond Mobile, it's about agri, digital health, smart manufacturing, robotics, mobility, yeah. Chai, yeah, quite fascinating. And then we have, thank you, Kun Ek. And then we have Kun Lina from joining us today, Chief Investment Officer from Amata. And it's also quite the business case I would like to learn a little bit about is smart city. And if you look at smart city, it's obvious, it's many things. It's also communication, people management, transportation, waste management, energy. So, and we learned that you have a project, Amata City Chonburi, with another mobile carrier that is also quite strong in Thailand. Kun Ek will give me a top loyalty when I say it's AIS. So, so you're doing that with AIS and 5G as a booster for smart cities. So please, can you tell us a little bit more about how you see that technology and the smart city business case, which is multiple business cases, of course. It's not just one.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting me as a panelist. And maybe if I were to go on to highlight exactly what is a smart city and how do we envisage the smart city in Amata. Because we started out from the industrial city development and it really grew because we have more than 1,400 clients in multiple locations. But just in one location, Chonburi, we have more than 800 factories. And it's not just on the factories itself, there's also people who was working there, living there. So close to about a community of 200,000 workers, right, just in one location. Definitely if you add Rayong, and then also in Vietnam, we have close to about more than 300,000 workers.
That's amazing.
So if you look at what exactly is 5G, right? What from a tech non-savvy tech person, how do you differentiate 4G and 5G? I will tell you, right, if you look into 4G, which is currently what we have been receiving, then you will know that 5G is 100 times faster. So what does 100 times faster can do to your life, right? So in terms of work-wise, if you are using technology, it will be much faster. You will be facing a lot more with your boss. Huh? If you say your boss call you, it can be clearer and faster, right? But if you look into smart city, what we are really trying to work on is on the concept of sustainability. Sustainability in which aspect? If you look at it in the area of the city, what is the primary concern is to create job. So job, you need to have sustainable job. Sustainable job, if you move towards Industrial 4.0, that Thailand is very fortunate because of the location right in the center of ASEAN. So with this location, we will move towards Industrial 4.0. And that is the reason why smart city is critical. Why we need to set up the smart city? Because people need to work, people need to live, people need to play. Without any of these three elements, you cannot be sustainable. So when we develop the concept of smart city, we use the concept of leveraging towards each of the smart city in the whole world who are actually very good in smart city development. So of course we look at Japan Yokohama
exactly.
City, and then of course we look at China, they are also moving up, Taiwan, and then also in terms of Korea, and maybe US, Europe, many countries. So they will come, they will set up their smart city together with Amata to look into where they can provide job opportunities in terms of livability, residential, in terms of what you are looking at. Even right now, the most important for all of us is healthcare. You don't want to work in a place that you don't feel safe. So when you use the technology, right, such as 5G, we earlier have already collaborated very closely with AIS just before the 5G is more towards the fiber optic network, so that the factories, the manufacturers can use the fiber optic network very fast to look into what they can automate in the factory shop house. So if you move on 5G, I would say that 5G, if we were to use it right, use it in terms of economies of scale, roll out it well, I think this will be the new normal. So if you look at the new normal, how do we really get it started? I think the EEC office has done a good job together with a lot of the telecoms operator. So I think by, according to statistics, right, in the EEC region, 80% or more than 80% is already 5G coverage. So this is a good sign. So question is, how do we adopt the use case? So we will work with all our partners. We would really encourage, even through, right, together, right, AIS together, True together, and also other partners like Huawei or technologies players, because they have the solution. We have the market. We have the platform that would be ready. So how can we roll out this initiative and help the EEC region, right, as a role model? I think this is what we want to do. Not just to say, okay, this is all within Mamata. I don't think we have this kind of narrow concept. But how to be a role model in the EEC, how do we create a role model for Thailand? I think that is the most important vision that we need to have. And at the end of the day, post-COVID situation, it will be very, very sensitive to many people. Companies may go bankrupt. You may lose your job, right? So what is it that we need to be focusing? It's not about technology. What we need to focus on is really saving jobs, creating jobs, adding the value add to the Thai workers who are very, very good. You know, I have a good team, you know, Thai people. How can we help them leverage and adopt technology to move up the value chain? I think this will be very important. So through our collaboration, even earlier in 2018 with Hitachi, we have created the first Southeast Asia IoT center that, for Hitachi in our city. So they are still continuing, and I think the core is to create the job for the manufacturing and to create more value add by working with many operators or even the government officials. I think that is the key about what we are going to do for the 5G adoption, working with AIS, maybe to adopt some and choose as the use case, right? It could be smart pole, it could be the street lighting, it could be many things, but to create the value so that people can use us as the role model. Thank you.
Wow, wow! I hear so many amazing statements today. So it's basically in the end, it's a little bit like politicians would love to hear that. It's about job creation, and this is, I mean, the whole 5G and all the verticals. As you said it at the beginning, or we had it also in the moderation, 5G is not just faster internet. There's so many things coming, and I think many people out there, they are not even aware. They think we have 3G and then we had 4G. Basically what it was faster, so we could have online streaming videos. But 5G will be a complete revolution on so many fields that can bring so many new businesses online. And in the end also create the value, create new jobs, have companies transition to see that. Yeah, so quite fascinating to also hear you are right in the heart of the hurricane with over 300,000 users in your own little smart city, or two you have. Yeah. So coming, that's a good keyword. Coming from the big, let's say, the orchestrating ecosystems, we now have on stage Dr. Kopkrit, who is joining us from the Artificial Intelligence Entrepreneurs Association. So you have been founded quite recently, and you have, as I learned, 13 companies, or maybe even today more, because I know associations. Also is a moving target. You have new members joining us. So obviously your members are also trying to create new businesses, trying to create jobs. And in the name of your association is artificial intelligence. So we see one of the promises of 5G is have artificial intelligence ready at your fingertips, the needed bandwidth in order to execute machine learning, all the tools you have, real-time service. Can you give us some concrete examples and maybe tell us a little bit about your membership structure, some examples what your members are doing, fascinating stuff?
Okay, thank you very much. as a representative of the AIEAT, AIE Association, we would like to appreciate that you invite us as a partner of this Beyond Mobile event. Right now the 5G is very increased the speed in the connectivity, okay? And the artificial intelligence right now is going to be able to insert the smartness to the computer device and be able to make the decision on their own. And the incoming of the 5G will increase a lot in the connectivity, increase the bandwidth, and for the AI, they can help us in two parts. The first part is, the AI, they need a lot of gigantic amount of data to be able to recognize the relationship within the data and be able to acknowledge the the hidden algorithm inside and then make me able to become smart, right? For the application that I think the 5G will be help us the most is the IoT, right? The IoT right now, due to based on the not so speech connectivity right now, like 3G or 4G, something like that, the 5G can increase the data that obtained from the IoT sensor to become more detailed, become more to become smart, to tell the AI in the detailed information and makes the AI be able to understand the world better and make them become smarter AI. So the 5G will also increase not just the application for using, but also increasing in the AI development to become smarter, faster, and making better decisions. And the application, the concrete application for the AI in the 5G can be something like, the 5G enable the computing power to the remote area of maybe of the remote area of the city, something like that. They allow the maybe the remote remote surgery, something like in the medical field, that the doctor be able who have very highly skilled become available to more borders area to become and the AI itself is the 5G is enable like the maybe the remote robotics, maybe the security robotics that can help to protect us, something like they have surveillance things and they can make a decision with a better computing power. Because if you're building a robot, right, you're gonna use the quite low power CPU, which have low power of processing, right? The 5G enable the huge gigantic amount of computer processing from the data center to that robot, to that remote IoT things, which allow the AI become more available to the area of the city. That I think this is the 5G can help us both of the development of AI and also the available of the AI service to the much larger area. And for the AIEAT, this is our association. This is the group of the Thai entrepreneur AI startup joined together. We start from the 13 company at the beginning of this year, and right now we have 30. Yeah, the 30 company as a member, and we have AIEAT have a lot of activities, some kind like the promoting our company member companies to let the audience know that the usefulness of the products that they build, and trying to maybe we set up the live show, something like with the Facebook Live bi-weekly with an event called Creative Talks. And also, we also trying to collect the company data, something like become like what kind of product they have, what kind of domain they are expertise, and we try to mapping the guy who won the product to see the collection of the company that inside the association. And moreover, we also doing something like expert list, something like because the expert of the artificial intelligence in Thailand is very hard to find. They are really needed for this time. I think the expert talent in Thailand right now is, I think it's about 1,000 of people who is really expert, who is as a machine learning engineer, who will be able to build a model from the data, something like that. And I think that is about 10,000 of people is be able to making the AI applications using the model that some other people already trained it, already created to use in the applications. And I think we are going to promoting and increasing the number of the AI Thailand in Thailand, because this is a key factor of the AI success in Thailand in next year, so in next century, yeah.
Chai, good talent is definitely a bottleneck. Yeah. War for talents, yeah. Okay, thank you. Also fascinating to hear what you are doing, and rapid growth from 13 to 30 in a couple, in 9 months. Very respect. Now we're coming to our panelists from Rohde und Schwarz, Kuhn Anusak. So if we're coming now from, we have been talking a lot about hubs and connectivity, and I mean Amata, like the big real estate industrial player. We have True, the carrier, Huawei as a world tech leader, and now zooming a little bit in, yeah, while we having been zooming out so far. Rohde und Schwarz, testing, measurement. Yeah, I think if you look at 5G networks, and it has been also said, I think Lena, you said it, that is actually the first wireless communication network primarily built for machine and IoT communication, and not so much for me calling my mom and having a video chat with Germany. And looking at that now, zooming in, if we talk about machines, if we talk about robotics, that performing a surgery, some doctor in South Africa is performing a surgery in Shenzhen. Yeah, so you can already hear from the question, or how I build it up, why is testing and measurement so crucial for this, for running the successful 5G-enabled networks?
Okay, thank you. Actually, Rohde und Schwarz is a company for the testing and measurement. We have a headquarters in Germany, and for the testing and measurement is important for the network, because how to guarantee the network quality, and when you have a system but you cannot measure, that is like a blind. You cannot know what is a real performance of the system. So that is why Rohde und Schwarz will provide the test system to network provider in Thailand and network regulator in Thailand. We work this that is more than 10 years in Thailand. So we work from 2G, 3G, 4G, and now it's 5G. So we have experience in this business, and we know how to test, and that is right. You need to guarantee that robot can work well, no interfering. Because in the manufacturing, many of the machines work together. Everything is come from every machine. So how to know So the measurement is very important for guarantee the system is work well. That is why the 5G is need to testing and measurement. That's it. Thank you for my question.
Thank you. And I also think it's about business-enabled car connectivity. I mean, when some mistake is happening, then you have a real problem. Again, calling my mom example, when the video is breaking down, okay, yeah. But when something in connected cars or robotics, and you have a factory and it's a standstill, it can cost millions. So I guess that's also the business case, right? Prevent costly things from happening. You know? And now staying at the tech, let's say from the outside, from the hub view to the tech view, coming back to Huawei, because obviously we have been talking about the hub you have created here in Thailand, but obviously you do much more than creating hubs. You are a globally leading technology, integrated technology company building networks all over the world in 5G. So looking at that, building networks all over the world, can you say something about other markets, what you have learned there for a localized adaptation in the Thai market? So meaning looking from the outside of Thailand to the inside now, is there something you can share from your experience?
Right. Thank you for the compliment. All right. So actually, we are having one of the similar views with Lina on the we believe in capability of Thailand. Okay. So we believe that actually Thailand is in the one of the very unique characters. We are having a lot of high potentials, and I think from our side we have been communicating many times as well on believing Thailand to be the digital hub of the regions by having lots of four sides of excellence in the connectivity, in the cloud, in the ecosystem, and the talent. So what we are trying to do, the same, is that we think that there is one value and advantage that we could bring in by building a stronger industry digitalizations in different verticals, especially in Thailand, in local, by having our advantage on being a global company and having more experience and see more on the models on the other countries are working or the other partners are working, and trying to use that experience to adapt into what could possibly be something suitable for Thailand. Probably I can give you two examples. One is for the 5G2B, one in healthcare. Okay, so we bringing the model of smart hospitals that we have in China, the telemedicine, the 5G cloud and AIs for diagnosis, for CT scanning analysis, as well as the unmanned vehicles. So we have brought all that things, and we have worked with very large hospitals. And last year we have signed the MOU for building the first 5G smart hospital in Thailand with very large hospital. And we do hopes that it's not the easiest things to do, to be honest. This we are looking for the next 5 years. From 0 to 1 is always not easy.
Right.
But we hope this will be one of the model that the second hospital will come, the third hospital will come, and then the other hospital doesn't have to start from 0. And that's our intentions. The other side is, of course, with 5G, can't forget the consumers. So we work a lot with the cases, the successful cases in Korea, with the entertainment leads. And we're trying to understand the character, the market character there, and what are the new services there, and trying to adapt that one to implement something new in China for the consumer services. This is for consumer side. So we have been working a lot as well in terms of the immersive content, our partners in VR and AR. We're working on the cloud gaming as well, as well as 5G broadcasting, which is we believe that all these three main applications will be something new and something exciting for the coming years in terms of the consumer side. So this is how we think that we are help building a stronger local ecosystem by combining the knowledge experience we have from the global, and let's blend it in, and hopefully it's helpful. Yep.
Right, perfectly positioned to do so. And you also mentioned again the verticals you see, for example, digital health and...
We do believe that for the healthcare is one of the promising with the COVID-19 situation as well. So the driving force of the digital transformation is faster. We think the educations, we have lots of potential as well. And also the biggest sector in Thailand, like manufacturing, that will be coming as well. So I think that doesn't mean that the rest are not important, but we see that these three are probably like one of the front runner in terms of adopting the technologies and turning into the transformations.
And establishing businesses out of it, right?
Exactly.
Business cases, yeah. That's also a little bit like true in your intro speech, right? Yeah. You look at the verticals, also here in the Two Digital Park. You also have digital health. You also have agriculture. Yeah. It's also quite the important vertical for Thailand, I would say. Yeah. So how do you look at these verticals from the true side?
Okay. So I would like to say like that, as the Kunwalakan said about the smart hospital, in fact that in the Sirirat also, thank you for Huawei to work with True as well in that space. And we learn a lot about this because that we implement the use case like the autonomous vehicle. So it needs the speed, it needs the latency, and also we implement the MEC, right?
Correct.
Mobile edge computing in the first launch in the Southeast Asia as well. Correct. With the Huawei 2 and the Sirirat and NBTC work together on this one. And I want to like to say that to go digital is not easy. So we should have the plan. As the Kunwalakan said that it's not that we start from 1 to 10. It should have the 0, 1, 2, 3, something like that. The same as the two group. We also have the two digital group. In the past 5 years, we attribute the organization to have the two digital group. And the two digital group in the organization, they divide to attract for the all industry as well, as the digital agriculture, digital health, digital manufacturer, something like that. And the coming of the 5G in the last year is like that, it's like the jigsaw to complete the picture, right? When we have the 5G and we combine with the what two digital group done, it's complete. Because as you say that about the AI, IoT, cloud computing, anything that is the technology behind that to make the use case and the solution. The issue is that it's very complicated. Because if you don't want, if you not work with the real people, the one that who expertise on that, you cannot deliver the solution. Like that. The speaker from the Amata said that it's not easy. So we need sandbox, right? We need to go to learn and act. If you act it and improve it, it should do like this. It's not the theory, right? So what tools do is that we learn is a lot about the digital group. And as I said that we have the vertical hub. So we see that they have the vertical in the vertical hub, we meet the many people in the tech partner and business partner. So we do the sandbox and we have the project on site. I will give you some example like the digital agriculture. Now we have the smart farm in the Chiang Mai, in the north region. We implement the water management there. We also have the drone use case there to use the 5G, to POCs, to prove of the concept. But I cannot say that now it can commercial. But it's a good start to do this. The same as that we go to work with the Huawei in the smart hospital. So we hope as well that we can have the second project and the third project. So we learn a lot on this one, and I encourage that we work together and we learn this one together. And I hope that in the next year, it will not the technical POC. We should thinking about the commercial, right? Because that if you want to succeed in the 5G in the world, no, it's not the technical show. is a real case and there is a use case. This is my idea.
Yeah, very nice. It's great.
I would just like to interject because I think I truly agree with what True has mentioned about how can we all, combine and say that, this is our strength. So what we have is we have the market, we have the platform. So similarly, we also work with Sililat to build the Meditown and also Mahidol University together with some of the key support. So we would like to bring in some of this good concept that already has been adopted, with Sililat, the 5G hospital, the mobile hospital, things that can be done. And whatever True that has done in Bangkok and is proved to be successful, definitely in Chonburi, Amata, I think we can also work very closely. So we are very flexible. And I think the key to really move on for the 5G, you have to take on the example from the RFID that was almost 20 years ago. So how did RFID move up? It's because of key anchor tenant. That means you need to have the volume. In order for to have the volume and the business case, right, the commercial case, you need to have adoption and somebody who is willing to pay, right? If nobody is willing to pay for technology, right, it's not just you calling your mother or calling your wife, no. Because that you may pay. But if you are calling your customer, somebody has to pay the extra. Exactly. How can we encourage that? I think that is the most important for all of us, at least from the panel. How do we work on a successful case study that everybody can benefit and also lower the cost?
Okay, we should have the win-win business case, right? That's the idea. Yeah. Thank you.
Exactly, create value and then get someone to pay for that extra value you create. Is kind of the ultimate formula for how to make money, right? You first need to create value for your target groups. But I think we are on a good trajectory because 5G is a very young, is still a very young technology. And if you go out there and ask, again, many people think, yeah, it's just faster internet. They have no clue what is coming. Because it will revolutionize so many branches, so many industries, and you are at the forefront of doing it. So, and we can talk about it today, and even face to face, with the mask on, of course, but still amazing to have you here on stage. So zooming out from this stage here, because again addressing directly the audience we have in the internet, in the digital sphere, we are now opening for questions, and I see there are the first questions coming. Let me just quickly check. Okay, I have a couple of questions indeed coming in. Let me just try to see how I can maybe bundle it. And I see we have Kun Shannon also joining us still from the Zoom. I hope you can hear as well. So let me just read it out, and then we see who would like to address the question. So question number one, when comparing the rollout of 5G nationwide, question, how is Thailand doing when compared to other Southeast Asian countries, and how can we increase the speed of that rollout? Who would like to take that one? Maybe Kun Ik? Rollout speed, rollout speed, or how is Thailand doing in the 5G rollout comparing to other nations in Southeast Asia? And what can we do to increase the speed?
In fact, I think that for two sides first, now that after we kept the spectrum until now, I can say that we aggressive blow out. Because that we have the frequency, the low band and the mid band, 700 and the 2.6 megahertz. Today we have the network coverage to cover more than the 50% of the coverage population. It means that 50% of the people can access to the 5G. So I think when we compare this coverage with the world, I think that we are in maybe the top. In the lane of the top of the country, but I think that the adoption of the 5G is not easy as well, because that when you want to penetrate and give the customer to able to use the 5G, so many things to do. Example like the device, the cost of the device. Now the cost of the device is still high. But I believe that with our proposition or the innovation proposition, we can make it easy to access that one. The second thing is the use case for the consumer. Like that Murakan said that we need to develop the content. Example, like the in case study of the Korea, they have the VR, AR. But we need to educate to the customer to know that what is the new experience, and how we can deliver the value of this one to the customer. It's not only the network, as I want to say, it's everything. So in terms of the two, we define this one as the ecosystem, device, network, use case, content, and very important is the partnership. This is what I would like to keep the idea for this.
Chai.
Yeah. Maybe I add up a little bit because from the nature of the technologies from 2G to 4G, mostly it's based on mobile phone. So the way the network is rolling out normally is based on population based or population density based. But on 5G it's different because it goes more on the industry specific base. So wherever the industry is ready, either on the EEZ, either on Bangkok or certain smart city, that might be the priority that would go first. But that's again, it's between two sides of the ecosystem. From the infrastructure, we trying our best as well, and also the solution-wise, as well as the readiness from the user side. It's all helping to combine. Yeah.
Chai, okay. Let's jump to the next question. So I have a question: stability, reliability. That might sound like Rodo and Schwarz can help us here. So how stable and reliable is the 5G connection when compared to others like Zigbee? I must say, maybe you can help me out with that one.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is a technical question. Okay, actually, 5G is different from everything. The resource box and everything is very different speed, and so cannot compare. But I know because I work in this industry, and I know like have a demand from like infrastructure like a power plant and electric power like this. They need to evaluate about the use case like a smart meter like this. That is different from the 6B, and this is why 5G need to improve like network and application. That is important. Yeah.
So can we say, like, if we have the network coverage, then it's definitely more stable and more reliable than anything we have seen so far? Is that a little bit like the...
Yes, it needs to improve like reliability. That you say like when you have a doctor to do the medical, you rely on us.
It need to be 150% there, right?
You mean the critical use
yes,
case?
Critical,
right?
Yes, correct.
That need a very good reliability.
Yeah.
I think that is beyond coverage.
Yes, correct.
It is need the app capability like the network slicing or the advanced feature in the 5G that can deliver like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that one is something for Kun Lina to start. Can you share some examples of projects or companies that has used 5G and helped to increase their company's productivity in Thailand?
I think the most interesting to look at 5G and what people has been doing right now is a lot on the proof of concept. Right, so in our area, we did try. I mean, give an example would be like Hitachi or Hitachi High-Tech. So they have tried to do the remote factory, meaning that they would have their supplier in Japan, and then the factory that is semi right in Thailand in Amata City, and with this they do the remote sensoring to make sure that the operation on the smart factory, right, it can work. So I think in terms of the proof of concept, they are successful in trying to show the proof of concept. So that's one good example, right? And to expand beyond that, I think you have to look into how you can look into the pricing and then also into the suitability. So right now, if you look at COVID situation, right? In fact, COVID will be the best driver for technology. Everybody will know it's not the CTO or whatever is COVID, right? So it's Mr. COVID that's driving, driving all this technology innovation. So if you look at COVID, we cannot have, you need to have that social distancing. So what can we do, right? Using the 5G. If my customer cannot come to our area to view, we could provide remote viewing, right? That's one example. And we could also look into certain areas in the city that need about maintenance, right? So you can have remote maintenance. So these are key factors that we can consider. I think it is a very good question on how, who has implemented and really make profit or profitable. I think so far a lot of the example has been given more in terms of the commercial and lifestyle, right? If I roll out some of the AR, VR, definitely a gamer, right? They play, you give me the best, I give you the best, right? That means they are willing to pay. So question is about finding the right market that is willing to pay. I think right now, the key, if you look at it, if you look at healthcare, remote, people will get. People will be willing to pay. Unfortunately, I can't have my dentist, my dental treatment remotely, not possible yet. If that can be done, that is very good. But so far, at least in terms of the smart manufacturing, smart factory, the proof of concept of what they are trying, that has been done, and people are satisfied about it. I have also visited Kubota. I think they have leveraged on the 5G,
agriculture.
Right? On the agriculture. That is very interesting. Because in the past, when you look at collecting the data for the rice and all this, it takes time, manual recording. Right now, they use the 5G with the sensor and they collect the weather data. So this actually improve accuracy. This actually will improve in terms of the accessibility of the farmer. So the farmer no longer have to say, okay, this type of rice, 6 months, 3 months. But they look according to the data. So if the data tell you that it is ripe enough, then it may be earlier harvest. So this is how I would say, using the right data with the right technology, the farmer will be able to increase the productivity. Definitely the yield increased by 20 to 30%. So when I visited the Kubota farm, just nearby Chonburi, fantastic job in terms of leveraging on 5G and delivering value. I hope because Thailand is also heavily in terms of agriculture base, right? No doubt we move towards the Industrial 4.0. But that would also create the value. So don't be misled by technology, but the usage of it will be very important. So just now, very good question. I will quote 2 examples. One in terms of the smart manufacturing, the other in terms of the smart agriculture.
Chai.
Yes, we have seen, according to the experience on the field, we have seen that the 5G can be very helpful on the service robot. And we have deployed the service robot to the Thammasat University hospitals, which the True donate the 5G network there. They are working, running there, and we my company is providing them the service robot that allow the telemedicine become possible. Under the POC, right now, what we have done is we providing service robot into the patient room and be able to install with a true 5G network in there, and the doctor can access to the that robot and be able to talk with the patients using the telemedicine via a 5G network, and it's very well. The latency is very short. It can be communicated very smooth. So this is a use case that I have seen.
Quite cool. Yeah, and I also hear that the acceptance of telemedicine is actually quite good. I'm also seeing examples from China where digital health is also developing super fast.
I
Sure.
add on this one. So I feel like this. If we want to competitive with another country, I am talking about Thailand. So what you mentioned about the agriculture in the Kubota, I think that we have the expertise, knowledge something that is our own, right? And Kun Komkit, it comes from AI. So I think that 5G for us, the very good access that we will differentiate for the world is our expertise in this one, but transform this one to be the AI. And this is the key. And all industry, so AI is very important. From my side, I think that yeah. And we should have our own AI to differentiate in the world. This is the key. So that's why we can move from we use in our country, and maybe we can sell this one into the world as well.
Yeah.
So AI is very important. Yes. Yes. This is what I want to add on this one. Yeah.
Yeah. AI is still in the blue oceans in the market, and local AI can make it better accuracy because we got the local data. So this is very huge opportunity to everybody to jump into the AI market. So and 5G is an accelerator of that market. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And you have fascinating AI when you have the access to data also in medical field, IBM Watson, scanning the x-rays of millions of patients and then do better diagnosis than the most highly decorated doctors. The AI is just figuring it out in milliseconds because they're fed with an incredible amount of data. Do we still have Kun Shannon in the chat? I cannot see her. Okay. Maybe yes. Otherwise, I would. This is a problem when you dial in from somewhere. Technology. No problem. Maiban Rai. Do we have time for one more question? Let's see. We have. Yeah. I mean that's always a question, but I know it's very difficult to answer. Nevertheless, it's a question. I'm going to ask it. How much does it cost to set up 5G infrastructure for a manufacturing company? And how ready is Thailand to fully implement this nationwide? I mean, let us break it down. And of course, this question is always, that depends, right? That's the answer. That's the, how much does it, and then, maybe we can give a range, if you have so and so many employees, a normal run rate that you would need. And it also depends, what are you manufacturing? Is it automotive? Do you have integrated logistics? I mean, it's so difficult to answer. Maybe we should say, please contact the panelists. They are ready to make an offer. Yeah. But let's see who can share a little bit on this one. Who would like to jump in?
Okay, I'll try first. As you say, to be honest, how much specifically is difficult. It needs probably millions, of course. But the thing is that the first question is, if you want to have 5G for factories, then the first questions come, for what?
Exactly, for what? Is it your logistics, intra-logistics?
Are you going to build 5G for the whole factory, just 2 autonomous cars? So that's going to be expensive. So the first questions when you want to have 5G on your factory is that, and that's exactly what we really need from the vertical industries and also the local innovators, because what you are going to use this one for, or any other use cases, the robotics, the VR and AR experience in the manufacturing, the autonomous vehicle or the autonomous logistics. All these things combined, and then it sets up the values. Okay, and that will be the same, probably similar investment on 5G platform will bear on that. Okay, and in additional is that the people and the consumers, they also enjoy 5G SIM cards as well as on other sides of that one. So when we are trying to think about the cost of this one, so the first question is that it has to come together between the intentions of building infrastructure and what you are going to use for. Okay, it just can't let the infrastructure come and waiting for the possible use case to be built on later.
Right, it's like when you ask an architect, how much does it cost to build a house? Okay, what you want to do? Is it a small house in your garden for your tools, or you want to live there with a family of 5 people, or do you want a house to rent it out for 100 people, right? So it's a little bit like
questions then, yeah.
So we need some more questions in order to.
We need a little bit more of the study, to be honest. In certain scenario, probably in certain industry or certain factories, how you are going to use 5G and probably plus some of the application and services inside, and that picture will come clearer. It wouldn't be that difficult, but it needs some study and needs some inputs, right?
I see. Yeah, exactly. Sorry to. I see Kun Shannon is back. So we're talking about the extremely wide ocean question. How much does it cost for a manufacturing plant to adopt 5G? So we already said we narrowed it down to that depends on what you want to achieve. But as I understand, 5GCT would be a company you could give a call and say, can we talk about 5G and for your manufacturing company, and you would be ready to help, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that. My internet is terrible. We need 5G.
We need 5G, here. Right?
Okay, where I'm at. Yeah, so we actually have been talking to a bunch of, I mean, you heard earlier about our smart city project that we had, but we have been talking to a bunch of industrials as well as healthcare. And the way that we do it is we go into the factories and they have a specific use case, what efficiency they want to save on in a specific use case. And we have a warehouse that we've been working with. And so we started from the pain point. What do you want to do? Money you want to save, make things more efficient, make sure defects, all these things don't have to rely so much on labor and how you reskill their labor and other things. But after doing that workshop with them, we were able to come up with a framework onto what the solution is. And then right after that, we actually worked with the telecom operator as well, because frankly, the biggest issue for a lot of these manufacturers are, why are you prescribing me a Ferrari when I'm okay with a Toyota? And so what we're saying is, we only implement, so the beauty for us is we actually do everything from LoRa with 4G, wireless, and 5G, because then there are some things that 5G is good for, but we cannot ignore it now because the digital trend, and then the CPEs and IoT devices are still expensive for some people. So we actually map it out where it's a scaling, where we outline the fundamental building blocks where they have now, and then we get into the 5G as well. So that's kind of what we do with them. And then also there's different solutions as telecoms know. Is it a public core that they're actually getting it from, or the private core, which is a different cost structure completely? So some of the companies we're talking to want a private core because they want to maximize their security. They want to have their own internal private core that they work and manipulate in whatever the way they want to. Whereas some of them just want to save cost, and so they're doing a public core solution. So it really depends on, again, I know a lot of the panelists were saying this already, but it depends on what they want, how much money they're going to save and how much investment they're going to put in, and then the solutions that we have in hand. Which is why it's very important to have, for us at 5GCT, it's very important for us to make sure that we talk to all the ecosystem partners, again, such as the IoT Association, the telcos and everything, because then we're able to prescribe to our client what the right solution is.
Right. That sounds like a good process to do. So as we heard it many times today on the panel. Also, it's not easy. The solution is not at your fingertips. It's a new technology. We need to take it step by step. Tila Kanton, I think, is the Thai. If I pronounce it correct, I don't know. Yeah, so step by step. And I just got the sign from the team. So we would like to close this panel. And I would really, really like to thank you for being here, being on stage, being in the Zoom, Shannon, despite the internet, making it to today's Beyond Mobile press conference, sharing your ideas, your way forward here on stage. So thanks again, Khap Khun Krap. And again, this is just a short snapshot of what is to come. Yeah, so we as VNU, together with our partner EJK, we want to provide these formats leading up to March 22. We have different formats of knowledge sharing, of engaging, and this is a little bit like the kickoff of the road to March. And I'm really super happy you've been here on stage. And what we are going to do now is have a group photo, and we also prepared a little gift for Shannon. We're going to send it you, obviously, by Thai Post, which is also doing an amazing job.
ค่ะขอเชิญทุกท่านนะคะขึ้นถ่ายรูปกันนะคะเป็น group picture นะคะ Thank you so much to all of our guest speakers today for your participation and giving us your insights on 5G and the power of developing the technology here in our country. And of course, we'd also like to thank Kun Shannon, who was with us in our Zoom, but unfortunately cannot join us in our picture taking นะคะขอบคุณทุกท่านนะคะที่ให้ insight นะคะในเรื่องของพลังของ 5G ในบ้านเรานะคะก็ได้เห็นนะคะว่ามีการพูดถึง ความสำคัญในการที่จะให้ end-to-end solutions ก็คือการสร้างหรือ centralize ข้อมูลต่างๆเพื่อที่จะสร้างระบบที่มีประสิทธิภาพในบ้านเรานะคะแล้วเราก็ได้เห็นนะคะว่ามีการพูดถึงการสร้าง smart city จากอมตะที่เราได้เห็นการสร้างขึ้นมาแล้วแต่ว่าที่สำคัญคือ 5G ก็จะทำให้การพัฒนาด้านนี้เร็วขึ้น100เท่าเลยนะคะแล้วก็จุดสำคัญที่เราได้เห็นจากสปีกเกอร์หลากหลายในวันนี้ก็คือความยั่งยืนก็คือยังถือว่าเป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญการ adopt เทคโนโลยีต่างๆก็คือสำคัญแต่ว่าแน่นอนนะคะการสร้างงานและก็การสร้าง value ในบ้านเราก็เป็นสิ่งที่จะทำให้ทุกอย่างสามารถที่ไปได้ดีและก็ได้พัฒนาระบบของเราในแง่ของการสร้าง IoT หรือว่า Internet of Things นะคะและก็การเพิ่มประสิทธิภาพใน AI หรือว่า Artificial Intelligence ค่ะสำหรับเรื่องของการร่วมมือนะคะก็คือว่าเป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญเหมือนกันที่ทุกฝ่ายทุก stakeholder ก็ควรที่จะมีการร่วมมือด้วยกันในการที่จะทำงานในแง่ของการที่มีตลาดและก็การมีแพลตฟอร์มต่างๆค่ะ We also do have some gifts as well, right, for our guests. And we'd like to show our appreciation to all of you for being with us here today. Definitely, it is a great opportunity to see each other physically with COVID-19. And it's always a pleasure to get insight from every one of you here on the stage. Definitely, we are privileged. Thank you so much นะคะขอบคุณทุกท่านนะคะที่ได้เข้ามาร่วมงานกับเรานะคะที่ True Digital Park นะคะเป็นเกียรติจริงๆนะคะ and of course, definitely we are very happy to have everyone here with us. And we'd like to take another photo with your gifts as well. Okay. Definitely, this is a very important occasion for us because we have gone through a lot of challenges here in Thailand, along with the rest of the world with COVID-19. But it is definitely a wonderful time as we are seeing the reopening of the country soon and looking forward to Beyond Mobile in March of next year. Oh, and Kun Shannon is still with us. Thank you so much, Kun Shannon, for being with us still. Unfortunately, we cannot take pictures with you right now. but virtually. And we'll send a special gift to you as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us here today. And now I'd like to invite Kun Heiko to make the closing speech and invite our guests to leave the stage. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณมากค่ะ
So again, this last closing, don't worry, it's not going to be a long speech. I just wanted to again say thank you to my esteemed panelists here on stage, also in Zoom. Thanks everyone for participating out there digitally, because that is also the topic of today, and this is what we have also learned in the COVID. We can bridge many things with digital platforms, but one thing I think personally, what COVID has also taught us is that the face-to-face, the live interaction, people meeting people can actually not really be bridged for a long time. We have formats like this where we do it, but in the end, what we also hear, we as VNU exhibition organizers, we're bringing people together, and that is what our customers also say. They are longing to be able to meet again face-to-face. And that is also what we hear today from the panelists. 5G is in the essence about connectivity. It's in the essence about communication, machine-to-machine communication, enabling various industries, various devices of communicating together, creating the magic, so to say. And that is also what we are doing at VNU with our platform. And why we are also here today, we have Beyond Mobile as a platform, as the hub for networking, for learning, for deal making, for Southeast Asia. We have the numbers, 40% of the world's connectivity within the next 5 years will be in Asia Pacific. We have Thailand as a hub in Southeast Asia. Excuse me. The mask. As a hub in Southeast Asia, and I really believe that our networking deal-making platform Beyond Mobile next year in March 22 will work. We are very positive about it. We hear good signs for the COVID development, Bangkok Sandbox, just some keywords. So we believe that we can bring back people again face-to-face from the industry to talk about the issues like we have heard today. It's not so easy to bring this. It's not just having the technology right. You need to have the business case, need to create value, need to find your customers. Many questions to answer from research, from academics, from policymakers, of course from companies. And that is the heart and the idea of Beyond Mobile, bringing all the stakeholders together to learn, network, deal make. And with that, I would like to close. And last not least, give a big thanks to the team of VNU. I really think you have done, everyone here has done an amazing job to pull this together. Very much respect for you. Difficult times, so with a big thank you from my side to the VNU team. And Sawadee Krap, and bye-bye, and hope to see you soon, face-to-face. Sawadee Krap.
Thank you so much, Mr. Heiko, for the closing remarks. Today has definitely been an insightful day, as we are confident that 5G in Thailand is going to be definitely a big enabler within our major industries. On behalf of VNU Exhibitions Asia Pacific Company Limited and EJK and Associates Inc., I would like to thank all of our guest speakers and our moderator. Thank you for giving us your time and sharing your experience and knowledge about 5G and how it can create business opportunities. We'd also like to thank the Digital Economy Promotion Agency, or DEPA, the National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, or NECTEC, and Thailand's Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or TCEB, for joining and supporting this function. Lastly, thank you everyone for attending Beyond Mobile press conference today, both physically and online. And on behalf of the organizers, we hope that you will be able to use today's insights as a guideline for further business development and creating trade opportunities in your industry relating to 5G technology. You can learn more about 5G technology and stay connected with us at worldwideweb.beyondmobile.asia or follow us on our social media pages by searching Beyond Mobile. We hope to see you again and welcome you in person next year at Beyond Mobile 2022 during the 16th to the 17th of March 2022 here in Bangkok, 3 ย่าน Midtown Hall ขอขอบคุณท่านผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านนะคะรวมถึงวิทยากรและผู้เข้าร่วมงานแถลงข่าวการจัดงาน Beyond Mobile ทั้งจากห้อง Auditorium ที่นี่ที่ True Digital Park นะคะและก็ออนไลน์ค่ะเราหวังว่านะคะว่าทุกท่านได้รับข้อมูลต่างๆที่เชิงลึกนะคะที่แล้วก็สามารถใช้ได้ในแง่ของพลังของ 5G นะคะดิฉันในนามตัวแทนจากผู้จัดงานขออนุญาตปิดงานแถลงข่าวเพียงเท่านี้แล้วพบกันใหม่อีกครั้งในงาน Beyond Mobile 2022 ระหว่างวันที่ 16 ถึง 17 มีนาคมปีหน้านะคะ 2565 ณ 3 ย่าน Midtown Hall กรุงเทพค่ะสำหรับท่านใดที่ต้องการข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมนะคะก็สามารถเข้าไปในเว็บไซต์ของเราได้ที่ worldwideweb.beyondmobile.asia หรือ search Beyond Mobile ได้เลยค่ะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะขอลาไปก่อนค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ